Hey guys, welcome to my review of the second film in the Scream franchise, directed by Wes Craven, titled Scream 2. It's a 1997 film that is exactly 2 hours in length, and let me just say, it's a very strong sequel. Basically, the plot takes place 2 years after the events of the first film, and Sidney Prescott is now in college, trying to forget the tragic events of the past. Unfortunately, another psycho has donned the ghost face mask and is now tracking down Sidney. And Cotton Weary, the guy who was accused of killing Sidney's mom when he really didn't, he's now free from jail and he's helping Sidney. Gale Weathers, a reporter from the first film, returns in this film. Sidney and Gale didn't get along in the first film, they got into a scuffle at some point, but in this film, Gale is sort of becoming more welcome and helpful to Sidney. Also, Gale Weathers' account of the events from the first film have been turned into a series of films in this film called the Stabbed movies. The characters from the Stabbed films resemble Sidney and the other characters in real life. So basically, this is just another Scream film which brings back all the elements of horror and comedy from the first film. If anything, I like the setting in this film, on the college campus more than the first film, and if anything, the body count does rise. The kills aren't quite as elaborate and weird as the first film, but there are still some very key, suspenseful, awesome moments in this film. Some of my favorite kills are, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, the sound room kill, and the kill in the car, in the construction site, with a pipe. And Sidney Prescott is part of a college play production, so a good portion of the film, including the crucial final moments, does take place on the stage. As a viewer, you're once again questioning, who is this killer? But at the same time, it's once again very hard to decide. Now here are two of my favorite suspenseful moments from the film. Don't worry, they will not spoil the film for you. The first part is when Sidney and her friend are in the back of a police car, and the killer is driving the car, but then he crashes, gets knocked out, and so Sidney and her friend have to crawl over him in the front seat to get out. And Sidney does have a chance there to reveal who the killer is and take off his mask. And the second part is when Gale, the reporter, Dewey, a police officer, and Sidney are all on the college campus. It's like a pretty wide expanse of just grass and trees. They receive a call from the killer saying, "Hey, I see what you're doing." So Sidney's on the phone trying to keep him on the line while Dewey and Gale are just running around scouting out anybody who may be using their cell phone at that moment, and they're like taking the cell phone and saying, "Hey, who is this?" Trying to see if they are the killer. As always, the killer's unveiled at the end, and you're amazed. And so, as always, Wes Craven did a phenomenal job directing this film, and believe it or not, I would actually have to say this sequel is actually better than the original. Slightly better, but still better nonetheless. When it comes to franchises, that is rare for the sequel to be better than the original. The only other case I can think of that standing true is with the Friday the 13th franchise. I do think the second film is better than the first, but Friday the 13th reviews, those will be for another day. Then again, I also remember the second film in the Alien franchise, Aliens. I remember that being better than the original Alien. But that's for another day as well. And so, I would have to give Scream 2 a 6 out of 5. It definitely stands as one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and whenever I think of the Scream franchise, scenes from Scream 2 will definitely be first to pop into my mind. And just in case you're interested, two of my favorite characters from this film would have to be Dewey, the police officer. I did enjoy his character in the first film, but by the time you get to the second film, his character becomes more fully fledged, and you really start to enjoy his character a lot more. And then there's Cotton Weary, who at the beginning of this film, he does seem to be a very frustrated, money-hungry individual, hungry for the limelight, but as the movie goes on, and especially at the end, you realize how humble and caring of a character he really is. And so, same story with the first film. If you have not seen Scream 2 yet, I heartily recommend you do. I beg you, see it. How is Scream 3, you may ask? Stay tuned as I review Scream 3 right here on my channel next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see ya.